Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler, and it's a bit of an overcast day outside here in the Atlanta metro area. That's why the light's a little bit dimmer. I've got my overhead light turned on and the window open like I normally do, but there's just not much light coming in. It's kind of a gloomy day. And to be honest with you, it's kind of a gloomy subject this time around because I kid you not, this is going to be the 7th episode about Spaceballs. I thought that 5 was enough. Apparently not. Okay, so after I put up the various videos for the tons and tons and tons of releases of Spaceballs on VHS and Laserdisc and DVD and Blu-ray that were released fairly recently as a 5-part series of episodes, I did wind up having to post that other episode that we did recently as a clarification to show you the cardboard slipcover for the release of the collector's edition and to show you what the Your Helmet Is So Big edition is supposed to look like, at least in its initial release, not its later restock. Well, it turns out that there's another release that I had actually never heard of, and it turns out that that release has 2 variants. My thanks go out to Dan L. Beeman for pointing out a DVD that includes Spaceballs, or a package that includes Spaceballs that I hadn't previously known existed. It's known as a triple feature called Astronomy 101. Now you might think, oh, Astronomy 101, it's going to be, educational stuff about, astronomy, as if you're in a class, like a class with a 101 at the end of it. And no. Not at all, not even remotely. Astronomy 101 is just a catchy name for a package of 3 science fiction DVDs. You may recall, or for God's sake you should by now after all these episodes, that in 2006 we had this as the second non-collector's edition 1-disc release of Spaceballs. This is that release from 2006 that gets reissued over and over again, all the way up through 2015. And this is the one that has 2 sides to it, with widescreen Spaceballs and full-screen Spaceballs on the 2 different sides. But in this case, unlike the original release in 2000, you have only one little ring label on this on one side, none on the other. And on that ring label, all the text is white, and it tells you that side A is widescreen, side B is full screen. The previous release from 2000 was similar as far as content goes, in fact identical in terms of content, but it had a ring label on both sides and pointed out widescreen and full screen in red, with the rest of the text being white. This one from 2006 is the one that gets repeated over and over again, not the one from 2000. White text only, ring label on one side only, full screen, widescreen, 2-sided disc. We've seen this so many times, I kind of want to chuck it at the wall and see if it breaks. Well, it turns out that the very next year, in 2007, we had our first release of that Astronomy 101 set. And it looks a lot like the set that had Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels packed in with Spaceballs, in that it's full-sized cases for the individual DVDs just put into a cardboard slipcover. That release was this. It says, College Essentials, Astronomy 101, so at least there is some theme to the whole idea of it being a college course name, even though it, of course, makes no sense for any kind of actual educational value. It says, featuring, and names the 3 films that are in it. Spaceballs, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, and Killer Clowns, with a K, from Outer Space. Then you've got your astronaut there, who has a beer and a remote control and a bunch of pretzels, and then another astronaut in the back with the American flag and a lander with the MGM logo down here in the corner. On the top, College Essentials Astronomy 101. On the bottom, barcode, names of the films, what year the films came out, how long they are, and what their rating is in the US and in Canada. Copy protection logo, DVD logo, NTSC logo, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment logo, MGM and Fox website addresses, and then here you've got your legalese down there at the bottom. The side then, Astronomy 101, DVD symbol at the bottom, names of the films underneath, with College Essentials and the MGM logo up there at the top. As for the back of your slipcase here, Astronomy 101 up there at the top, beer cans and pretzels, horizontal little areas to point out what each film is about. It's just got a description and then some specs about it. No cast and crew information this time. Yes, mine is kind of banged up down there at the bottom. And you notice here, if you look at that Spaceballs item up there at the top, that is actually a Spaceballs cover we've never really seen, right? Spaceballs with the MGM logo at the top and red lines that go out from both sides all the way to the end. Well, the one that's included is this one. This is blue lines that go all the way out to the side. The earlier version was this one from 2000, but notice here the MGM logo's up there and it does have red going off to the sides, but they're not lines that go all the way over to the edges. It's just MGM and DVD, just enough red space for those 3-letter acronyms here. So the one that's actually being shown on the back of this case doesn't actually exist. It's kind of a hybrid between the 2006 and 2000 covers. Now inside, again, it's the 3 DVDs in their regular packaging. So for Spaceballs, here it is. Yep, the exact same copy we got in 2006, right down to the disc that we saw over and over again. No insert, of course, because there wasn't one in 2006 for the regular release either. Along with that, though, we have the Midnight Movies version, MGM presents Midnight Movies, of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. In space, no one can eat ice cream. What? Again, we don't spend too much time on these ones that are packed in, but just to show you what edition it is in case you happen to collect other films. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And then we have the special edition of The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the 8th Dimension. Here that has, of course, Peter Weller, John Lithgow, etc., etc. And special edition, but 1 disc. Don't go thinking this is a 2-disc thing like the collector's edition version of Spaceballs or anything. So those were all packed together in 2007, but in that cardboard slipcover, which basically just took the retail items, put little stickers over their barcodes, and shoved them in there together. So you didn't actually save on packaging if you're the one producing this and putting it out for sale. Jump ahead 2 years to 2009, and we see a reissue of that set, but this one is a little more economical for the company putting it out, and it's not called College Essentials anymore. That is this. It says triple feature, not College Essentials, Astronomy 101 featuring, it has the names again. The cover is essentially the same except for the fact that it doesn't say College Essentials up here anymore. Your spine there says MGM/DVD, Astronomy 101, names of the films, logo for MGM, logo for DVD. The back here gives you your information about the individual films. So we've got Astronomy 101, we've got beer cans and pretzels, little horizontal area for each film, given a description and cast and crew information with your legalese and your various logos down there at the bottom. And I would point out, once again, that if you look at Spaceballs, it's that same version of a Spaceballs cover that doesn't really exist. Inside, you simply find no inserts, and there's your discs with 2 of them on an arm, and 1 just attached to the back of the packaging. Kind of standard stuff. So, content count-wise, where does this leave us? Well, you may recall that we ended that main 5-episode series about Spaceballs with the fact that if you count the Spaceballs discs, and you count the discs for things like Young Frankenstein and the other movies that were included sometimes with Spaceballs, okay, if you counted all those things together, and looked at unique items, which would be unique because of either disc authoring, or unique because of the label, maybe both, maybe just one or the other, that we actually had 34 unique items in that Spaceballs collection, with another 38 discs that were duplicates of something. Either identical duplicates of Spaceballs releases, or of Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood Men in Tights, whatever. Now, if we include these in there, and we include the stuff from the .1, not .2, as this is, episode that was just done to clarify issues for Spaceballs. Dump all that together and consider that restock a different release, sort of, that we saw from 2015 for the Your Helmet is So Big edition. We've actually brought those counts to 36 unique items and 43 duplicates in a Spaceballs collection. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But thanks to Dan for pointing out the Astronomy 101 set that somehow when I was doing searches night after night after night for Spaceballs home video releases, somehow never came up when I was doing those searches on eBay and elsewhere. So thanks, Dan. I appreciate the heads up. And now we've added those to the Star Wars home video library. Hopefully, this is it for Spaceballs. But now I've said that multiple times, I don't want to press my luck. If there is more Spaceballs to come, we'll cover it on future episodes. For now, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.